think the thing that really takes people by surprise when they come to WAG is the sheer complexity of what we do. We're a government, so we have, if you talk about the professions needed to be good and effective civil service, many departments have maybe half a dozen. We have all of them sitting within WAG. We have a vast range of responsibilities, and we, in general, do tasks, maybe 2 grades below the level of seniority you'd be doing it in a Whitehall department. So we're very lean, we're very mean, and actually we're pretty good and pretty effective. We paid our farmers on time. The thing that I was also struck coming in was that organisations develop in steps. They don't develop and get designed rationally. So if you take the Welsh Assembly Government, a new organisation over 10 years, has had new and different functions added in, you tend to add each function on, one after the other. And you could end up, therefore, with processes that are actually far more complex. Because if you design them afresh to deliver what you want at the end of the day, you would take out a lot of those stages, which are very rational when you add them in. But when you look at the whole thing, it's developed over a 10-year period, it doesn't look right. So what I was very keen to do was to begin to unpick some of those processes, to actually look at all the stages that we built in. Were they still necessary? Were there quicker ways of doing it? Are there ways of taking off the transaction between people so that our processes are actually much leaner and meaner than they were in the past? I think complexity is a problem everywhere for every organisation. I think for government, particularly when you're dealing with so many different strands of activity, and some of those are unique and they're special and they sit with individual ministerial portfolios, but many of them actually can only be delivered in a cross-cutting way. I think it's very easy, therefore, to build a lot of complex systems to try and drive people into cross-cutting interactions and to try and make those things happen. You see it in Whitehall, the PSA mechanisms and things like that. But even within WAG, the same sort of tensions continue. So we need to continuously look at everything we do and make sure that every step, every stage genuinely adds value. And if it doesn't, stop doing it. I think some of it is people aren't aware of all the tools and techniques that are out there. And I think what's exciting at the moment is virtually every government department is doing some of these things: process re-engineering, lean, the whole set of engineering, quasi-engineering techniques that people are using. But I think it can be very hard to see those things, which have come often from an industrial background, as being relevant to the work of a government department or to a government. So the biggest barrier, I think, is just knowing what's out there and then knowing how to apply it within your own organisation. And then the barrier, I think, is skills transference, because what a lot of organisations have done is they've bought in the experience, they've used it to transform systems, but they haven't built into the fabric, the way of thinking of the organisation, all those things about lean, about always thinking about taking things out. And I think the biggest barrier of all is that to really make this work, it's got to be embedded in the people who do the work, not in the leadership of the organisation. It needs leadership, it needs permission, but it actually needs people to be curious. Why do we do that? Hang on, that doesn't work. How do we do it differently? And to have that every day to really challenge and to be given the permission to challenge. When you see something absolutely stupid, the permission to change it and make it better. The challenge really, as I said, people, was to take out some of the complexity. I wanted to call this session, cutting the continuous repetitive application of process. Because we in the civil service love acronyms. But sadly I wasn't allowed to use that title, but that's what it's about.